Just to get the Cowboys 2 good games to hopefully understand that they need to go receiver and go high with this next pick.
Yeah, that's really what this is gonna be about. All right, you're looking live at Fast Cast, Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talks. I'm the host, DJ I Tell You What, aka Jules, and I'm joined with my co-host, none other than my dad, Cowboy Joe 64 on Twitter. And welcome to our Saturday show. And we're going to talk about a few things. It's been a really interesting week, and it's getting the season is getting ready to heat up. So you want to say what's up to the people, and you know what I'm saying?
What's up to the people? Appreciate you guys joining Saturday night. Hey, just start with that clip I showed you while I'm sending this link out. Go ahead and do that. Just let that run.
All right. Let me play it and put it on my feed, and then
Definitely talking about so the update with Micah,
uh-huh.
comments that he made, want to be traded, and Jerry's got his response, which is pretty typical Jerry.
Yeah, and here it is.
It is. Don't lose any sleep over it.
So just to be
That's the
clear,
one thing I would say to our fans. Don't lose any sleep over it. As always, in any relationships, there are different moods at different times of your relationship. That's what it is. Don't lose any sleep over it.
so just to be
That's the
clear,
one thing I would say to our fans. Don't lose any sleep over it. As always, in any relationships, there
One more
are
time.
different moods at different times of your relationship. That's what it is. Don't lose any sleep over it.
Jerry has his dynamic. I mean, has his his little story and what I mean, his little sayings and stuff. But I'm just gonna be 100. That really what Jerry is saying today, what he just said on that clip. You really got to take that to the bank. I mean, that's for once you could just say that this is something that, yeah, he's right. This is just the temperament and the mood, of during negotiation process, and Cowboy fans shouldn't lose any sleep behind it because the deal is going to get done at some point. But what the problem is that we're here. That's what the problem is that we're here. We knew we would be here, based off of history, and that's a problem. Everybody's talking about Micah, and I wanna pull this up, and I wanna read this, and
So while you pulling that up, so want to give a shout out to Big Time Show,
oh yeah,
Amp
man.
Sports,
Wonderful
J,
show y'all had earlier
J
today.
Tuck. We did a show this morning. I thought it was fire.
It
And
was.
shout out to all those guys and what they bring to the space. And
Man,
yeah,
that
it's a good
show,
show.
y'all show, I'm gonna post a link. Well, that show is also on our show, on our YouTube page, so y'all can just go check it out. But you got 3 or 4, you got some legends and some upcoming legends in the podcast game on one screen in that show. It's a 4-and-1, and man, it was a really good show. If you really want to get a good perspective from fourth generation Cowboy fans, and just how you could, just I really the show gave me hope. Uh, and like I said, it just because all of the fans be thinking the same thing, and just like I forgot what was his name? Not Jay Tuck, not Big Time, but the other guy.
Oh, Amp.
Amp, yeah, Amp, and shout out to Amp. I follow you, Amp. I follow everybody, but I follow J Tuck and Amp. So Amp, he made a great comment. He made a few great comments. J Tuck's Ninja Turtle story was epic because that is so true. The leader is Leonardo, but Raphael is the strongest. Raphael is the best fighter. So Raphael, yeah, Leonardo is the leader. He keeps everybody together. That's for sure.
I
But
kind of forgot about that. That was like your show back in the day
right.
on
So
on Saturdays. Yeah.
exactly. So but he was right. Raphael Leonardo kept everybody together. He was the one when, and they would all have attitudes. Leonardo was the one that would get everybody together. But Raphael was the best at fighting and then everything else. So without Raphael, they would not have been able to get Master Splinter back because Raphael was the one that kicked the door down. Other than that, they wouldn't have been able to do it. They needed Raphael because he's the best. So leadership comes in many other ways. But Amp made a comment. Amp said that it took him a while to start thinking like how other people think or how other Cowboy fans think, to where it was just like, nah, everybody always say it's Jerry and it's Steven. And for a long time, we was just like, man, nah, it ain't that. It ain't that. But then once you start, being on podcasts with people, or once you got into the content creator game, and I start watching Law Nation, and I start watching Mark Holmes, and I start watching CFT and Landlord and Boss, I realized like a long time ago, no, they right. Mark Holmes was right when he was just like, no, a lot of this stuff be Jerry's fault. A lot of this stuff be the front office fault. It don't be the players. We have the best players on paper. They even play good on the field. But when we lose, it's a direct result of something that the front office did or did not do. And you can see that constantly, constantly, constantly. So that's why I wanted to share this real quick, and I wanted to just to just think about this out loud. And it's just like, if this is true, which Micah wouldn't lie,
Oh,
let's
it's
just
it's, it's all the truth. It's like a manifesto,
let's
but
let
but it's the truth.
let's look at this. He says, "Yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again." That's cold right there. To make this America's teams once again. Okay. The team my pops and I grew up cheering for away in Harrisburg, PA. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to close door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while landing on the line for this organization, for my fans and teammates, blah, 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 blah. I no longer want the narrative. Da, 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 da. The part I wanted to read out to was it said, since there's confusion, let me clear up some things. I had my agent reach out to the Cowboys last offseason after my third year in hopes of getting a deal done early. Unfortunately, the team did not want to start any negotiations at that point. Let's
That's a
pause
mic.
right
That's a mic drop right there.
there. That's what in the hell is going on? You mean to tell me the star player has the agent reach out the third year in hopes of getting a contract done early, and you for this is when it becomes mind-boggling. There is absolutely no reason in the world for them to not start negotiations if their goal is to win a Super Bowl. There is no reason in the world that that you would
So right
you
now we're thinking he's gonna get like 41, 42 million. If they had did that deal at that time, would it have been like in the probably the low 30s? You think mid
yeah,
30s?
like 32, I think.
But
So, he
and
said
then
after
yeah, go ahead.
he said after the season, I told my agent once again to let the team know that they were open to negotiate. My agent informed me that I should wait for other deals to get done because the price would only go up. But I didn't care and
Now
wanted.
stop right there. That right there, for him to say that and publicly state that, that's straight up the truth right there. You wouldn't make that up. That couldn't be a lie what he just said right there. Because
None
that's
of this.
really information that you really not required to even share, or you really probably shouldn't be sharing.
Exactly. He said my agent informed me I should wait for other deals to get done because the price will only go up. David Mulligeta just got himself a whole bunch of more players to Todd France and them.
Well, I shared this on the show this morning, and I found this out last night from I listened to it's two guys. They're called the Doomsday Podcast. It's two of the OGs,
I listened to
Cowboy
them.
Media, and um, they said that David Mulligeta is the first agent to have a total of $1 billion contracts.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
didn't know
old
that.
news.
I didn't know that myself till last night. That's like
Well,
amazing.
dude, I sent you the I sent you a picture of David Mulligeta and the caption
And
was
that fact was on there. Okay,
yeah,
it's coming back to me now.
right, yeah, yeah. We did it on the show.
Okay,
Remember
okay.
the picture that I sent you? It had 1B in gold.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it was actually when he signed someone, he reached 1 billion, and then I sent you that picture. But
And
anyway,
I really forgot too. Before I forget my other train of thought, I forgot too that he did the Deshaun Watson deal. I couldn't. I didn't remember that.
I wonder, is
And
that the one that took him to 1 billion?
and that entire contract was guaranteed. That was unheard of the way they did that deal.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so this guy, man.
Well,
So
let's just
Jerry,
look,
yeah, go
let me
ahead.
just put it like this. David Mulugeta, and I'm not bigging him up because he's from Dallas. I'm not bigging him up because of anything. Um, he is just a smart guy. Uh, he's from Dallas. He's young.
He's
He's
just like
in
he's the Rich Paul of the NFL, the NBA guy, Rich Paul.
yeah,
He's doing the same thing.
yeah, and so shout out to David Mulugeta and Michael Parsons might be changing the NFL.
And Todd France is in their agency too. That's who did Dak's deal.
That's the
And
OG.
and by the way, David Mulugeta is George Pickens' agent. So
And Tyler
hey,
Smith.
and hold your, so look here, it's finna go down.
And that's what I was telling K Rock today. Like, if the Cowboys want to keep George Pickens, they better sign. They should sign him now. A smart team would. Or you gonna have to
Well,
tag?
they should sign Tyler Smith now.
Yeah, yeah, not yeah. Or you're gonna have to tag George Pickens because George
And he
Pickens.
will not be after what happened with this deal. I'm gonna make
Uh-uh.
a prediction. Uh, Jerry won't be talking to any more players on the sideline
Oh
uh,
hell no. Mm-mm.
during camp or whatever the case may be.
No,
That's
no,
not going to happen again.
nope.
So
Because he got in straight up embarrassed because
yeah,
because he's telling them because Micah is saying to himself, why y'all trying to negotiate with me without my agent? Why y'all trying to do me like that? Like you're not
and
that's disrespectful.
I believe Micah when he said that they went into the conversation to talk about leadership because they've been talking that leadership crap.
Yep.
So that's what the conversation was about.
You
And so
know,
Jerry just kind of got ahead of himself, and
well, Jared tried to
I kicked his coverage.
yeah, he tried to do what he normally does. And
He
see,
tried
he's
to do it
talking
with Dez.
yeah, he did. He talking about leadership. See, Dez couldn't really hold his own like that because Dez come from a humble
Well,
background and
but
Dez,
no, when he tried to do that with Dez, he got the same results. Dez told him the exact same thing. We're not talking about a contract right now. Not me and you.
mm,
That's
I
what that was the outcome.
talk to Jay-Z now.
Yeah, that's
And
what
so
happened.
he said Michael said this was before any other pass rushers deals got done this offseason. And I knew I would be leaving money on the table. But again, I was okay with that.
Again, you don't make that up. That's the truth.
Mm, mm, mm. Um, he said when my agent reached out and spoke to Adam Pacifica, he was told that the deal was pretty much done. My agent, of course, told him that wasn't the case. So basically, Jerry then told then Jerry then had a conversation with Micah and got cut off, and then went back and told them, "Oh, it's pretty much done." And Micah and David is just like, "I don't know what you're talking about. It's not almost done."
I've been talking about this for
You're lying.
months. I've been talking about this for months. I've been saying this, and you've heard me say it on our show. The bad word in my household growing up was stupid.
Hmm.
You couldn't call anybody stupid. You didn't say that you're stupid. For him to stand on the sideline and talk to Michael Parsons and had this conversation with him, if he actually thought that was the end of the negotiations and it wasn't going to come back to this, he had to know that the conversation was fine. That was just just for you guys to open up the line of communications. That's all there was. I can't believe he thought it was anything more than that. And if he actually thought that, we got a few wires loose here.
See, and my thing is this too. It's just like I really, 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 outside of when we're talking NFL and football, I don't really try to. I really don't bring race into it. I really don't, because it's a football is it's a raceless sport, I guess you could say. It's all about production on the field, and everybody gets along. Nobody doing that. But when when stuff like this happens, and it's just like, you look at the contrast from the white players deals, and you look at the contrast when you have a young black man that's really, really, really smart, intelligent, and it's just like, and you're treating him as if he's just like some knucklehead off the street, by like trying to do deals under the table, and then really lying, what I'm saying that the deal is done and it's not, when this is really his fortune, this is his future, this is something this is the biggest thing, this is the biggest deal in his life, you know what I mean? And this is the biggest deal in the Cowboys season too, but this is the biggest deal in his life. We're talking about his whole entire family is there. You know what I mean? This is like for
Yeah.
security for years to come, generational wealth. And for you to be trying to like play with him on the slide, like saying negative comments and trying to do it everything outside of the norm or outside of the correct way to do things, that is just unfair to Micah. So the fact that Micah says, "Oh, I don't want to be a Cowboy no more," look, it's so many players. When Myles Garrett put his trade in, the way he was talking about the Browns, I didn't think it was no way possible that he would go back. I didn't think it was possible because he was talking crazy. And same with Lamar. Lamar was talking crazy about the Ravens. I was just like, it ain't no way in the world that they
See,
gonna pay for him.
I didn't really see the Lamar coverage. You probably was looking at it, so I didn't know all of that happened.
You remember when Lamar requested for a trade because he was just like, "I'm not getting an agent. I'm doing it myself, and
Mm.
this is what I want, and this is what I'm getting, or I'm out of here." And the owners was just, they were doing the same thing that they doing to Micah. Like, who you think you are?
Mm.
Who you think you are? You a knucklehead off the block. We not finna sit down and talk business with you like you somebody important. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they ended up having to do though. You see, with
Well,
Micah, it's just like, nah, man, you're not finna just, throw the wool over my head. But you
and
know,
see, I would say this. So a couple of things, and you got the race thing. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you handle business like this. You've seen the things that they've said about Trey. Now, they ain't really said the comments that they've made about Trey. They haven't made those comments about Micah. What Micah has done is just the title of our show. It's the lion has the gun. So he has them in a very uncomfortable spot. They've never been here before. Shout out to RJ Ochoa. I listened to his show today.
I don't like
He
RJ Ochoa.
oh well, but he was saying that Micah basically is outsmarting them, and he has for him to go to camp like he did, and honestly, for him to even show up there today, he still they still outsmarting Dallas. But you know, um, going back to what you were saying, when they had that opening press conference, the State of the Union, whatever they call it, and for him to unprompted to throw Terrence Steele under the bus, and who was the other player that you mentioned? It was Diggs, right?
Trey, yeah.
Saying that, well, they kind
Did
of, I
we
guess, regret
did
signing
we
them.
did we
Did
sign
we
him
make
too
a
early?
mistake? Did we sign him too
Yeah.
early?
The fuck?
That was really like a shot that you didn't need to take. And so, and I was going to ask you about this. Now, I was listening to Clarence Hill on their show yesterday. He said that Stephen Jones had already apologized to Micah about something that was said. I didn't really catch what was said, so I thought it
I
was
didn't
interesting.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Clarence Hill said that Stephen Jones apologized to Micah yesterday. This was like in the middle of the day. Um, and
I'm gonna go
so,
check out DLLS after this and check it
but
out.
I said all of that to say this: if you watch DLS from yesterday, I think this deal is going to get done. I never doubted for a minute that Lamar's deal wasn't going to get done. I just they're going to get it done. I think the same thing is going to happen here, especially what Jerry said today. But the
Mm-hmm.
bottom line is, you didn't really need to take a shot at your players. You didn't
Mm.
really need to fumble this.
Let
And then what I
me
what I said on the show this morning, there's no reason for you to be staining your brand with this nonsense. And this ain't helping their brand. This ain't making them money. This is
Okay.
stupid.
You said a lot of stuff right there. Let me break it out. Let me say what I got to say about that, because you said that earlier, and I really wanted to say something. I was commenting, but I was realizing that when I was commenting on our show, and y'all was watching big time feed, so he couldn't see my comments because my
Mm.
comments was coming to our show.
Oh,
You see what I'm
okay.
saying? So anyway, but and I'm not a know it all or anything like that. But I would say this, like, when it comes to a certain few things, I do have a certain few wisdom nuggets that I go by in a lot of areas of my life, and this is what Michael's doing. And it's kind of like Jay Tuck said earlier. You didn't give this to me, so you can't take it away from me. It goes to the same thing, goes to that same point. I always try to do this when I'm in the corporate world or when I'm wherever I'm at. Really, when you have what I call the right behaviors, if you're doing the right behaviors, any situation that you're in, it does not matter what the opposition does because you're doing the right behaviors. It's like a scale. Like 9 times out of 10, you're gonna win whatever situation that you have against your opposition if you're doing the right behaviors. Like for real, like in class, or if I'm in class, or if I'm in work, if you go to work on time and you show up on time and you're paying attention at work, then you're 9 times out of 10 you're gonna exceed. You're gonna get a raise, or you're gonna get promoted, or whatever. That's all you gotta do is show up and do the right things. If you in class, if you go to class every day and you pay attention in class and you do your homework, you do the right behaviors, you're gonna succeed 9 times out of 10. It ain't nothing wrong. I mean, ain't nothing gonna happen with a lot of things. You just do the right behaviors. Micah has been doing the right behaviors. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't done anything. He's came to camp. Every time they wanted him to be a leader, he's done all of those things. Every time
Hmm.
he plays on the field, he's the best. There is nothing. He plays through injuries.
He's
He
called
does
their
it all.
bluff.
He called their bluff and he betted on himself and he won. And Dak did too. And CD
Yeah.
did too. They all do because it's just like they have the right behaviors. So there's nothing that the Joneses can do. This is another way clearly against Lamar. Another team offered him a deal and he was a free agent. Yeah. So it's just like that's another way owners collude against Lamar or players. No team
Mm.
offered him a deal and
I
he was a
remember the
free agent.
colluding conversation,
Yeah.
but I just felt that the
Big time.
Ravens were going the big time
Great show
show.
this great show this morning,
What's up, Noob?
big time. I loved y'all show, man. I was just telling them that they gotta go rewind that because it's like, four OGs giving some good tips on, giving some good perspective on that show. I was just all ears, man. It really was a good show. But like I was saying, Micah has done the right thing. And in the end of the day, he's making the Joneses look like fools. Because they are the ones that are like fumbling this thing. And so, what was you saying? Kind of expound on what you were saying about how uh, there was no need for them to go this route and put smut on the franchise by doing these silly things. And also, it's just like I told K Rock earlier today. We did this last year when it came to the free agents in the off season. It was just like all of the content creators was calling the Joneses out. Like it's no reason for you not to do anything in the off season. That was totally stupid. That was dumb. You know what I'm saying? It
Mm.
was just like no matter what. Hey, it
So
was a good
and
show, man.
tell big time if you free, if you want to join us, you're more than welcome. We can send you the link, Noob. Just let us know if you're free, you can jump on. Uh, but no, I was just saying that I made the comment this morning that the brand, the Cowboys, there's this thought that a lot of this negative publicity is making them money somewhere. I don't know if it's I know they got a YouTube channel and all of that, but this is not good for your brand. It's not good for your fan base. I made the point that when the Yankees, when one of their star players says he doesn't want to play for the Yankees. Now you don't remember this because we people in my era, we kind of grew up still watching baseball. Baseball was still a big part of what we did, and
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson with the Yankees.
Hmm.
The Yankees they were right there with the Cowboys, so it would be just like Reggie Jackson in modern day times saying, "I don't want to be a New York Yankee anymore." That's not good for your franchise, and they keep
No.
doing it to themselves. And the way they've handled this thing with Trey and the way they're doing it now with Micah,
Hmm.
at some point the rubber's going to meet the road with what you're doing,
Hmm.
and that's what we're getting ready to see.
Well, the rubber has met the road already because we're 30 years in this thing with no with,
Yeah,
with no with no second playoff
and
win.
people are tired of being tired.
And they're calling them out on their BS. It's just like Micah. When Micah put out there that he tried to get this deal done last March and they were not open to negotiate. Let's just think about this from Jerry and Steven's standpoint. What were they thinking? Were they thinking that Micah was gonna like not be what he's gonna be immature maybe or try to be or to get hurt or did they think that he was gonna be immature like how George Pickens was acting and that was gonna be able to like
I
make
think
them
I think that's their modus operandi, and so they probably just kind of they were waiting for some opportunities to do that with Micah, and they just never came about. And then when he came to camp, I think it kind of threw him off. And then this whole thing with them not talking to his agent and then telling the agent they've already got a deal. That's just simple negotiations. That's just a ploy.
well first of all it's
You're not being
disrespect.
serious.
I keep saying this. It's disrespectful to me. It's
It's disrespectful.
and then you
But
sitting up here talking about I don't even know his name. Well, Jerry, you know what? That's very disrespectful. You should know his name. He's the first agent to hit $1 billion in contracts. So you should
they
know
know
his
his
name.
name. Yeah,
I know you know his name.
it's
But
disrespectful, but that's
uh,
just those are kind of things that they do. But again, the rubber's meeting the road. Cowboy fans with content creators, you're not going to be able to do the stuff that you did 5, 10 years ago. You're not going to be able to handle things the way you handle things
and
with
see
Dez.
what no, you're not. And what I also think is gonna happen on about this too is like, Micah's gonna get his deal done, but I feel like that joy of being a cowboy for Micah, I feel like his personal now is gone. I feel like
Well,
he'll be like instead of me like he might have been like, I'll take a 5 year deal. You know what I'm saying? But now he gonna be like, no, I want a 3 year deal. And I'm telling you
yeah.
now, when I get my
So
third year, I'm out of here.
that's the thing that I was thinking after our show this morning with his family. His mom and dad are in town, where they're out there in Oxnard. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna be looking to see, just kind of how everybody's talking after this. I'm gonna see what Jerry does because Jerry's gonna try to recover. He's gonna try to put a lipstick on a pig. So
Well,
it's
he
gonna
has
be
to. He has
yeah.
to.
So Micah, money changes everything. Once he get his money, just like Lamar. Again, just watching Lamar from a distance with the Ravens when he signed his deal, I think he was good. I think Micah's going to be the same way, but I think what it's done though, it has kind of put just a negative pile over the team with the training camp with Shotty. So
Mhm.
that's kind of the price that they're gonna pay. You got some fans. It's like they say the fans out there at Oxnard today, they're chanting for Micah, giving him a standing ovation. So the Cowboys are losing the PR battle.
Oh yeah, they was losing when he did his he talked to the fans the other day and they were just booing him.
Oh yeah,
You know what
he
I'm
gonna get
saying?
booed. He gonna get booed when he do anything. He's gonna get booed.
But that's not normal.
For Jerry,
It's not.
he gets booed at AT&T anytime he makes an appearance.
I don't think so.
Like when they do like a Ring of Honor, whatever the case may be. Now, did he get booed during Jimmy's induction?
He don't be getting booed.
Jerry?
Jerry does not be getting booed.
Jerry,
Steven might get booed.
Jerry gets booed a lot.
He was getting booed the other day, and I was just like, dang, that's kind of hood that right there. Even if
Yeah,
he's signed, he won't forget. Yeah, but he's built and wired differently. I agree with big time. It's just like you know what I mean. Like okay, yeah, like for a tiger don't change his stripes. Yes, I got my money right, but at the same time, I'm not gonna forget how you did me, bro. You know what I
I just
mean?
wonder if I wonder if his mom and dad and the family out there, if they're just like, we finna head back to.
Hey, what happens if you're doing a business deal and it's a personal situation to where you don't feel good about this person that you're doing business with. You get the business deal done, right? You get your money. After that, what do you do? As me and you, what will we do? We'll say, you know what, we got our business done, we got it, but we are never doing business with that person again.
Well, I just think it changes the relationship, and it's that's the price you're gonna pay. This is gonna change Jerry's relationship with some of the other players. It's gonna, when he has to sit down and do a deal with Pickens, his agent is David Mulugeta.
Yeah.
I think Tyler Smith signed with the agency as we mentioned earlier. So that's the price he's gonna pay. So to answer your question, we're gonna
Mhm.
just kind of see what that looks like. But
Like
Micah, I think
Mayweather,
Micah's gonna play.
like Mayweather, when Mayweather fought Zab Judah, and I think Mayweather is the greatest of all time. I just, whatever. That's gonna be a debate I'm always have. I think Mayweather is number one. I think Ali is number two. I think Mayweather is
Wow.
number one. Okay. So the thing is, Mayweather when Mayweather fought Zab Judah, now this was a big deal, right? But it was just like they fought, but Zab Judah was being disrespectful and being disrespectful to Floyd Senior. So Mayweather made a lot of money. Then they fought, but after the fight, Mayweather said, "You know what? I was gonna give him a rematch, so I could put some more money in his pocket. But the way that he disrespected my dad, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. I don't like that. You don't disrespect my dad, my uncle like that. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it again. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
Well, we're gonna have to watch and see. Will we see Micah and Jerry, engaging with each other, kind of doing their normal banter? And Jerry does that with all of the players. Jerry, um, he would do that with Dez.
and
So
I'm not a Jerry apologist, but I'm gonna say it like this. I always say this. I don't think Jerry is doing any of these things. I think it's Steven that's doing all of these things. I think it's Steven
well,
and Adam Pacifica and
I've
Will McClay.
I've gone back and forth on it. There have been times during the past couple of years where I really felt like Steven was calling the shots. He's really taken over.
Mm-hmm.
He even put his title out there for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
co-owner, or whatever the case may be. So I've
Mm-hmm.
gone back and forth on that. I think with this deal right here, because Jerry and Michael had the conversation on the sideline, I kind of think the reverse. I think Jerry has started something that Adam Pacifica and Steven are going to have to come in and clean up and finish. So I'm kind of on the opposite side of you on this one. I think this one is
Mm-hmm.
Jerry driven. I think Steven, if you notice, Steven himself, he really hasn't said a whole lot about Michael. Now he's been making comments about Trey
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah, he
they're
really don't like Trey.
but Steven, I haven't seen a lot of quotes about Michael. I just haven't, unless I missed
Nah.
them.
And you know why? It's because, you know what I'm saying, he doesn't want the exposure because he know he's losing.
Yeah, Steven has
So
been really kind of low key to me
yeah.
on
And I
on
saw and I
Michael's deal. Now Steven
yeah,
hasn't been low key with Trey at all. I'm talking about with Micah.
yeah.
I think Steven understands the situation. So I think this one, to me, this is Jerry driving this thing right here. And I still think Steven and Adam Pacifica is gonna get the deal done. Now I predicted I was just surprised that Adam Pacifica kept his job this past year, this past off season.
Yeah. Yeah. You
I
know.
just knew they was gonna move on, and you had
Well,
to.
well, if you were smart, you would.
Yeah.
You know.
So
But they
yeah,
not.
no,
So,
and yeah,
you know. But the thing is just like, it's gonna get done, and I keep telling everybody, that got done in September. Okay. CD got done on August 26th. Okay. I'm
that's
sure we
what
can
we're
go
looking
back to
at.
I'm sure we can go back to Zeke. I'm gonna look it up right now. When
And
was Zeke?
Michael has been in camp. Michael knows the defense, and you said it many times before, and even on our show. If they made if they made Michael coach, if they made Michael the defensive coordinator next week, he could absolutely do it. That's how
Mm-hmm.
smart he is.
Yes,
So he's been
absolutely.
there. He knows the defense. I was watching some videos today. He was doing a couple things that I was thinking that he wasn't doing. They had him doing some. He was holding some. I don't even know what you call these things. You put them on your arms, and the players run through you.
Yep.
So he was doing that, and that had to be from yesterday or the day before. So, and then he was out there today. So, man, Micah has this thing under control. I don't think he wants to be traded. He's just, he doing what he got to do to
Mm.
get the negotiations done, and then we're gonna have to just wait and see when this is done.
Uh.
His mom and dad, where they at, where they are, where the relationship is, as Big Time said. Because if you're the mom and dad, you're not really happy right now.
Mm-mm. And we're gonna put this out here. I'm gonna put this out here on the next one because no comment, no YouTubers or content creators are putting this out here. Zeke was signed on September 4th.
The last contract he had,
The big extension, 50 million.
okay, yeah.
So all of these big time players, all these big time contract, they all signed around the same time.
And by the way, don't think for a minute that didn't have consequences on each season, because every player you mentioned, when they signed that deal late as they did, I don't think we had a good season. CD started off slow. Um, Now Dak, of course, Dak ended up getting hurt. Now I'm not sure that last year that we signed Zeke. I don't think we had a good season. I don't remember what our record was,
Mm.
but the earlier you get these things done, the better it is for your team. So if they want to, man, look, if they sign Micah the last week of August, knock on wood, but you want Micah to get off to a good start. You want the team to get off to a good start, and with their schedule, Again, you playing with fire, but Jerry, they never learn.
Mm-mm. And so, you're right. They never learn. But the thing about Micah is, this is unique because Micah is unique. So it ain't like Micah. Micah don't need the time that CD needed. Micah can hop out the bed in August and play a full game. I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? He's
Well,
that good.
I would just argue like old school. You got to get out there and you got to play. You got to get hit. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. Football is still, you gotta.
I just don't understand the Joneses. I mean, like what Micah said. It behooves them. It does. It doesn't make any sense for them to wait. I mean, I don't
It made no
understand
sense.
this.
Everybody in his draft, they were signed. They've been signed except him. Everybody. So 31 players have been signed. He's a 32nd player from his draft that hasn't been signed. Is that what
Yeah,
we're talking about?
that's what we're talking about. And
Yeah, that's
and and he's gonna get more money than all of them.
he gonna get more money than all of them, but it
And
still wouldn't.
And on top of that, him getting more money than all of them should be a good thing and it should be a great thing. But the way that the Cowboys structure it, they make it a bad thing. They make it to where them getting these deals done as late as they do, it would have had way more benefit for the team if it was done earlier, like Micah wanted it to do, and leaving some
You
money
know,
off the table. If they would have
let-
done this in March, we would have a DT right now.
so let's go ahead and wrap. But so I just had an epiphany today, and I just thought about this. And so when they signed Pickens, I was saying I think they're gonna get Pickens signed. I think Pickens is gonna stay here. But since this has happened, and Pickens has David Mulugeta for an agent, and then Tyler Smith. I think the end result of what we're seeing here is going to be that Tyler Smith and George Pickens are not going to be slam dunk signings. That's what's going to happen now.
And on top of that, not only are they gonna be not slam dunk signing, they gonna have to franchise tag one of them.
Well, they can actually franchise. They can franchise Micah as well. But I was saying to the guys on the show this morning. I've seen interviews with Tyler Smith's mom. She don't play. Tyler Smith was when he got drafted. He was getting ready to go to camp, and he had told his mom he wanted her to come to camp and blah blah. His mom was like, "No, I got my own plans. I got some things lined up. I'm doing. I'll see you later. I ain't now, fam." So
Mm-mm,
she had that serious look that moms have.
mm-hmm.
So no, they're
And
not gonna they're not gonna
nah, you
yeah
don't. Mm-mm.
no. So they're not gonna fool around with Jerry, Tyler Smith, and Pickens. So
They
those are gonna
sound
be some.
like L.
They sound like yeah. So those are going to be some tough negotiations now when they could have been a whole lot easier. But maybe we'll just see the reverse and they just get Tyler Smith. If they smart, they would get Tyler Smith and Pickens in there now and get them signed. But they're not going to do that.
Mm.
That's just you know the leopard doesn't change its stripes.
It says Bill Barnwell said over the last 4 years, the Cowboys are the league's best defense with Micah Parsons on the field by
I,
EPA
s-
per play.
I saw that today, and you could tell when Michael
That is a
came
fact.
back. When Michael came back the end of last season, we were a much better defense.
That
It
is
was it was
crazy.
just obvious. So, but yeah, I saw that. I saw that that same stat you're reading. We can go ahead and wrap.
Pickens probably what
Woo.
big time say Pickens probably want what?
He probably won't sign.
Why not?
Uh, why Pickens won't sign?
Yeah.
I said because of the negotiations for Pickens just got tougher. He has David Mulugeta as an agent, and after the way Jerry has handled this, that negotiation is a whole lot tougher now.
You got to tag him in.
Well,
You can't have this offense without him.
but
Okay.
but he can make it. Jerry can make it a lot easier by just getting Tyler Smith and Pickens in now and start
And Bland.
negotiating verse and Bland and just go ahead and but these guys, man, they're not gonna change what they do. They are who they are. When
Yeah.
like say Oprah, it wasn't Oprah who said that. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Was that Maya Angelou?
Yeah.
It might have been. So that's where we are.
Yeah, that's where we are. Too much money. I get it. I get it. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up, y'all. We said we were gonna do about a 30-minute show. And like I said, y'all make sure y'all rewind that. Go check out Big Time Show. I posted the video on our show too, so y'all go check it out. It'll be up under the live tab. That was a good show. With Big Time, J Tug, Amp, and my dad. That was a great
Mm,
show. So
it
man,
was
y'all
it, wa-
gotta
it was
watch that
super.
show. It was got some heavy hitters on there. Every
And big
bit.
time, we'll hook up later. Hope your son did well today. His son is
Oh yeah.
playing tackle football for the first time. First time he put the pads on,
Yep.
and
I
you
seen it
remember
on.
that.
I do, and I seen it. I was watching it on Facebook. I put some comments on Big Time Facebook about
Oh,
that.
okay, okay,
Yeah. So
yeah.
uh we'll see y'all later, man. We gonna probably hop on probably Monday, if not tomorrow. We'll hop on Monday. I don't think it ain't no preseason games on, not until Thursday. So
Oh
um
man, so next week the first preseason game. It's gonna be
yeah,
nice.
yeah, we play the
I've been
Rams.
watching something I ran across today.
Hmm.
They got that training camp live on YouTube. I didn't even know that was there. I was watching.
Well, they
That
just put
was.
that up like yesterday because that ain't
Oh,
been there.
oh, they hadn't been there.
Mm-mm.
Hey, why is Diggs is number 7, right?
Yeah,
There's somebody else wearing number 7 at camp. That's I don't know why teams do that.
I don't know. Uh,
It's
you can do it.
Holden.
Yeah. Trey, Holden. You can do it in the league. You got to just have one of them on defense and one of them on offense. I
Yeah.
think.
So
Well, they do that in college. But no, Trey Holden, he gonna make the team too. I don't
he
know
was
whose spot he gonna take.
he looked good in the videos, the highlights that I showed. All the receivers look good, to be honest.
Except Tolbert. I just wanted to say this. Cause Tolbert ain't looking good in camp. That's what I'm saying.
Tober did. He looked kind of. What do I want to say? He just kind of looked nonchalant to me.
Yeah. I mean, Tolbert. To me, I think Tolbert is gonna get what he get. He gonna get those same numbers he did last year because he gonna be the one that's just like on the same page with Dak on an 80-yard bomb somewhere. So it's
Yeah.
just like
Flournoy looked good. Well, all the receivers look good. Tolbert is Tolbert.
Mingo look good.
Mingo look good. Yeah, they got a good thing happening in that receiver. Now we just don't have enough spots for everybody.
That's correct. And special teams, but we'll see. But I just like the fact that how Micah standing up for Steele, how Micah standing up for Trey. I'm digging that. I'm digging how CD standing up for Micah. They
Well,
talk.
the players are rallying. They're all coming together against the front office, and that's kind of a thing we haven't seen before, even over Sean Wanye Thomas. So
Remember, I told you it's us, it's the fans, the team, and Shoddy versus the front office first.
so that's the other thing about Jerry and them. Are they going to be vengeful? Are they going to try to strike back against the players and do this thing? They need to cut out just cut the crap.
I
It's
mean,
not you're
they
not
only
gonna win.
you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah, it's and you bringing the other elements to the space that don't need to be there.
You know what K Rock
Yeah.
said? K Rock was just like, "Are you telling me that we are a team that hasn't won a second playoff game in 30 years because of Steven and Jerry's pride and ego? Is that what you were saying?"
Well, their pride and ego and their again use a bad word stupidity.
This is like
That's it.
somebody needs to ask them. Okay, Micah said that he was gonna that he was trying to get the deal done in March. Why didn't y'all do that? Just we want to know why y'all didn't.
And it ain't because of branding.
Tell us why.
It ain't
Because
because they trying to get clicks. That ain't the
'cause
answer.
we can't figure it out. Because we have put this on the board and we
Oh,
can't figure it out.
I have.
Oh,
I've been telling you.
well, yeah,
When
we
they
figured
bought the
it.
team, when they bought the team 30 years ago, everybody in legacy media, some of these guys are no longer with us. They kept saying these guys are not football guys. They do not know what they're doing. Jimmy saved them.
If
And
see
since
you,
Jimmy and
y'all
since
was
Jimmy
new.
left, huh?
Yep. I said, yeah, they was new to the game, and Jimmy came in, and Jimmy Jimmy was the
Well,
GM.
the other part of the story, they was just doing a lot of goofy stuff. But Jimmy came in and saved the day, and then when Jimmy left, they went back to doing goofy. Hiring Barry Switzer, that was just a goofy move. Chan Gailey, all of this stuff. So the answer to me, I know the answer. The answer is It's just coming back full circle. They are really not football guys. That's what it is.
This
And they
this
and they
this
and they using
organization
all of the other stuff to to well,
camouflage that.
we doing it for clicks, and we doing it because we
Man,
making a lot of money on social media. No, fam, you're doing it
no.
because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, because if you were winning, that would be more clicks and that would be more money. So
Yeah,
the thing about it is, like, ever since Jimmy left, they have been on a downward trajectory.
they have.
I mean, that's just as
And
clear as
the Super Bowl they won, that was Jimmy's team.
yeah,
And
and
I'll say this: I'm not gonna throw Barry under the bus. Barry has a Super Bowl ring, and Barry is one of the legendary college coaches of all time. So Barry was a good coach, but it was just a bad idea.
yeah.
And I'm gonna do a show. We've been talking about this for a while. We go ahead and wrap. I'm gonna do a show of Jerry's biggest mistakes, and one of the things on my list is that when Jimmy left, he needed to hire somebody off Jimmy's staff to be the head coach. He had a couple of choices and he blew it.
Jimmy brought order and was the only real football guy in the building. This is a fact.
So when Jimmy and Jerry, the writing was on the wall. Jerry should
Mhm.
have made sure that they either had Norv Turner or Butch Davis, and everything would have been good. But he didn't do that.
I'm telling you, I can't. I just be thinking about all the decisions that Jerry has made. I can't point to one that was beneficial.
Yeah. So the answer is it comes back to they don't really know what they're doing. They try to cover it up, and
Mhm.
that's what's happening. Let's go ahead and wrap.
All right, y'all. So we gonna wrap for real this time. So y'all make sure
Yeah.
y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all